Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. The art exhibit series on Now, in collaboration with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago, continues. And this week we have with us Shastri Maharaj, artist, and a lot more as well. Good morning, Shastri, and welcome.
Hi. Good morning, Natasha. Good to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us this morning. Your art is so captivating. So really looking forward to the conversation. But one of the things that we have to ask is, you were quoted as saying art is your service. Why do you say that?
Well, it's my preoccupation. It's what I do every day.
Every single day.
Yeah, and it's a passion. And therefore, it is what I give back to the society because it's for public viewing. So when I produce the work, I produce work that is based upon my experiences and observations of my country. And in so doing, it becomes a service.
Understood.
And therefore, I have exhibitions and people see my work and they can relate to what I have done and connect with the information that I have presented visually.
Excellent. And how long have you been painting, Shastri?
I've been painting for some time now, maybe about more than 40 years. I've been at it.
More than 40 years?
Yes.
And you've had the experience of not just showing your art here, but also all over the world. How were you able to navigate taking your art from Trinidad and Tobago into the international space?
Well, the more you paint and the more you exhibit, it is the more people become more aware of you, the more work you do, and you sensitize the public, and the public through sponsors, art exhibitors, museums, art galleries, the internet. So people get to find out about you, and arrangements are made for shows internationally. So you attend workshops and you have shows abroad, and your reputation expands as you go along having shows, and internationally, therefore, there's some reputation, some fame happening there. And locally, people know of me, and the patrons of my art, they would promote it as well. And it's like, that's how you advertise your product,
Understood.
for want of a term.
So there's some networking involved and some consistency.
There must always be networking involved. If you live in the now, you have to be part of the now, and part of the now is to use what is available to you. And fortunately, in this realms, not 40 years ago, the technology has done wonders for the dissemination of information, including my art.
And your art is definitely something that is quite captivating. Before we get to your art, though, let's speak about your 2019 recognition. You received the Public Service Medal, the gold medal, for visual arts. Was this something that you expected?
Well, no, I don't think I was expecting anything. There's a word that is used in Sanskrit and Hinduism called seva, S-E-V-A, and that's service it's doing. So I have just been plodding and burning the midnight oil and doing, not necessarily anticipating or expecting some kind of public award. So intrinsic motivation, intrinsic satisfaction has really been my motto. I need to do work and put the work out there for people to see. So that really is what it's about. The fact that I got it says a lot that one part of the society is definitely paying attention to what I'm doing. And my contribution has been heard. It has been seen. It has been documented. It has been celebrated. And an honor has been bestowed onto me for burning that midnight oil, shall I say.
Definitely it has. And let's go into some of the contributions that you have with those that we have on set. Let's start with this one that is right behind me. Quite captivating. What is the name of this piece?
Oh, this painting is called Arrival. It's 4 feet by 5 feet. And I had an exhibition some years gone by at the Diwali Nagar. I consider it one of my epic works. I needed to produce a body of work that would celebrate, identify, document the Hindu Indian presence in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
I was of the opinion, and I still am, is that not insufficient amount of work has been done in the area of visual arts in particular, whereas we may have a lot of it done on song and music and dance. But in the visual arts, I needed to document it visually. I needed people to see this arrival painting has to do with the Indians, the indentured laborers coming from India to Trinidad and being quarantined on Nelson Island. And I wanted to give that narrative of the on Nelson Island being documented, being labeled, being given a name. And so they're coming off the boat in the back line there, and you see they're looking very haggard and tired. And then there are the two colonial guards, policemen, clerks.
Yes.
They're taking the names of the people that are coming up, and that's where you get your name. So whereas the English guys may not understand the pronunciation of what you say, they would interpret it and you would get your name.
Yeah.
So this is how, and then they continue in Indian file, and they show themselves becoming more comfortable with their walk as they get further. So this is how it could have been when the Indians came to this part of the world. Nobody has documented it like this. So I think it makes good material for students, for social studies, and people to understand that this is when we met Trinidad. And this is how it could be. This is my ancestry.
Definitely.
And I needed to do something on this level.
Well, it's clear that you definitely have, and it's quite impactful. And it's good to see that you have been able to immortalize something that for many is now just a story. Of course, the memories live on through family and through generations. Let's go to your next piece. This next piece is quite interesting. Again, preserving that East Indian heritage. Tell us about this piece.
I have been known over the years for paintings of the woman in the landscape.
Okay.
And I've used the more elderly looking woman, or the woman who's the grassroots kind of woman. And there's an image, an icon, part of an iconography I have coined, I've built over the years. It's about the woman in the landscape. And this woman is in her landscape. She is in the simplicity of the environment of her temple. And what is very characteristic of Hindu or Indian people are jandis, which are the religious flags people put up, that talks about the prayers or puja they would have done in their homes. And she's doing her ritual, her morning ritual, the salutations that she goes. And I wanted that simplicity to be brought out in the work. Almost a kind of childlike quality, and very earthy colors to represent that simplicity and naturalness in the work. And it's simple, it's a temple, and there's a lingam in there. In early Hindu traditions, temple worship is really based upon you taking a bit of sun and molding it into a lingam and a yoni. And out of that came temples and so forth. So there's a religiosity and a spirituality in it.
All right, excellent. This next one, we see woman in the landscape and also what appears to be a ritual. What is the name of this painting?
This painting is called Hawan.
Okay.
Indian people do Hawan.
Okay.
It's their personal, private prayer. And this woman is doing a Hawan, and where fire is very important. The elements, the water and the fire. And she's doing a Hawan there, oblivious to any and everybody. And just the smoke and everything about it has that very spiritual quality, and she's invoking the spirit. Come bless me, come protect me, come take care of my family, see about my country. So I find the painting, full of that kind of energy.
And speaking about energy, the one that sits behind you definitely is full of energy, including those elements and what appears to be a spiritual aspect.
Yes, that painting is a painting I had gone to Marianne River, I think it is, in Blanchisseuse, and there was a festival that's put on by the Kendra, and I had this Ganga Dharam, I think it is, and I saw these Indian women dressed in the yellow clothing, and they were bathing in this river, and the reflections of their clothing in the water and so forth. It's just a fantastic experience to capture something that I've never observed before.
Right.
I'm accustomed going La Mayaro and so forth, and seeing people bathing, whether you have on a vest or a t-shirt, but I've never seen them dressed like this.
Yeah.
And in terms of European art history, Cézanne was an artist who painted the bathers.
Yeah.
I guess this is Shastri Maharaj's local interpretation of the bathers in the neck of the woods in Trinidad. And they're just having fun. You know, the reflections of the water is so exciting. The clothing just floating on top of the water. And they're talking and oblivious to anybody. And I was there witnessing, experiencing this kind of thing. It had to be documented. Nobody, so much of Trinidad hasn't seen any of this.
Yeah, it's so true. And that's the beauty of your work, at least some of the pieces that we see here on set this morning, with the fact that you've documented some things that are historical, are also quite personal, and definitely convey an important message. So you're showing Trinidad and Tobago a different space, which we greatly, greatly appreciate. Shastri, where can we connect with you and see more of your work?
Well, I operate out of St. Helena, where I have my art studio, and people are free to call me, 762-7416, and you can make an appointment. You come and visit me, and you see me at work in progress, and that's where I am most of the time. Or you just Google my name, and I come up on many people's websites. So I'm around.
Excellent. Well, Shastri, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for loaning us your artwork for this week. All the best, and looking forward to seeing more from you.
Thank you very much for having me on the show, and happy Indian Arrival Day to everyone.
It's our pleasure. Shastri Maharaj, artist, here with us this morning as we continue our collaboration with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago. Stay tuned, because the TTPS is going to be with us in studio right after this break.